Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Christina Rahm, and we are here with Hadjeh
Yes.
Pour.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
It is
Say
right.
your whole last name,
Yeah.
though, so the audience can.
Yeah, my name is Hadjeh Pour.
Very
long name.
I was spelling out a name.
It's not easy.
A lot of people don't know this, but I have a speech impediment.
Yeah. But it has a very beautiful meaning. It's the goddess gift.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you. So as I told you, my mother has this name, and when I was born, she gave me her name and changed her name in the star. So it's a great gift from her, and I want to keep that name.
Oh yes, it's a beautiful gift. I love that. I love that story as well. And we're going to talk today. I could talk to you about Under the Red Chandelier or House of Ramas, but we're going to talk about Cure the Causes because I know a little bit about your story. And I would love for you to share a little bit about your life and your story. And I always say this, we learn from our mistakes and our weaknesses rather than our strengths and our success. And I really believe that. I've seen it over and over as a psychologist and a scientist. Every time I make a formula or I do something and I fail, that means I figured something out, right? That doesn't work.
Yes, definitely.
And I feel like any successful person in life has gone through a lot. So I really want you to tell a little bit about your story. And also I want you to include lessons you learned from different weaknesses or things that happened along the way. And then we're going to get to Cure the Causes and what you're doing in your life to help you and your family as well as others.
Yes, I will be. It's a big pleasure for me to share this. Thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for your invitation. So maybe I will start with last year, November. Arman and I, we have 2 children, a son and a daughter, and we want to move out from Germany and just try something new, travel around the world, and want to make a new start in Dubai. And everything was very nice. We was just in growing our new lives and try our best so that we can settleize new and make a very good life for us. But unfortunately, sometimes in our lives happen things that we never planned before. But I believe in that the things what happen that makes us stronger and that they are happen for a reason. So I can remember it was a family day. We want to make a zoo trip with our children, and we was in Dubai, and I just had a stressy morning on that day, I can remember, and was not so in my energy. And we sit into the taxi and want to, as I said, to the zoo. And then we were there. The taxi driver just stopped, and I always wear my bag from my shoulder until my hip. And I don't know how, but it was into the a car when I closed the car, and everyone was outside, but I was half inside and half outside. And it was not the fault from the taxi driver, but he keeps driving because he saw, okay, everyone is outside and this just the small bag, he don't realize that was inside. And I realized, okay, I'm half in, I want to open the door again, but he keep driving. And I run as fast as that I could to stop, or I don't know why I just touch the car door and don't leave it, because if I would leave it, maybe my back was broken and then I was not falling down. But I run, and after I cannot run fast, I fall down, and I was also into the car until my back was broken. It was not for me bad that I fall down, that I have these wounds. The baddest thing for me was that my children and my husband were behind me, right behind me, and they saw everything. And it is a very shocking moment for really young children, and also for my husband. And he is a doctor. He sees a lot of blood, a lot of operations he did. but you know, it's different when you see your wife is bleeding and is leading on the floor. So he just come to me with the children, run to me, and I can remember I feel like a little kid who is falling down, and was really not nice. We he said, okay, what should we do? We looked at each other, and I said, Arman, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't know what they will do with me. Put some medicine on my wounds, put some pharmacy, some unnatural. I don't want this. Please, you know what is the best. And because he works a lot in a holistic way, years before with a lot of nutrition, and he know about your products and about the formulation and how it works. He just said to me, Hadjeh, you have to trust Dr. Rahm's formulation. You have to trust the products. And we put the clean slate on my wounds. So it was a kind of disinfection.
And it probably stung.
It was so
bad.
hurtful. I was screaming. But my children was very tough. They hold my hands and said, Mommy, everything is fine. Clean slate will help you. And I know that clean slate is a very high element. It's with silicium.
Yes. And
silicium takes all of our intention. And if I put hope, love, and healing inside of this element, it will give me back this. And I just trust and do a little meditation before, and then we said, okay, we go this way, we go through the products, take all these, and it helped, it worked. And you really cannot see any wound on my body again. I know God was holding me like, I don't know, it could be much worse than that. But I must really say that your products, Clean Slate, and after that, they give me back my youth, come outside. But the colostrum and collagen helps also my scars to heal. And also the zero in, because I had a lot of depression and I've had a lot of nightmares after that. And until now, I feel not comfortable when I'm near a car, because I have also, again, this feeling that it could happen again. But I must really say thank you to your products. Thank you to all the formulation. You help so many people. And I believe that you don't know that you help, because it is so amazing. It is really, it was my only hope in that badly time.
Well, the audience doesn't know this, but they will when they see this. I heard this story on stage in Cyprus, and I started crying.
Yeah.
And I was so touched by your sincerity and the reality, because what happens in life is we go through traumatic experiences, and unless you're the person going through it, you don't realize how traumatic it is. I can actually feel how scared you are when you tell what happened, and I can imagine what Dr. Arman and the kids felt, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. But I have to tell you, what really came across when you spoke on stage was your heart and your kindness and the person that you are, your gentleness and your true love and concern for people that comes across. So I really want to ask a little bit about you and where you're from and your family. I just want to hear about you, because I think in life, people deserve heroes, and you're in the mentorship program with the Rahm Foundation. So we will be kicking off in January, really working with high school and middle school students, as well as battered women, and being mentors, along with, I think, 7 other women. We will be doing this together. So to choose those individuals was pretty easy for me, because I could see people that will sincerely give their time to doing something to give back, and that says a lot about you. So I want you to tell the audience a little bit about you, where you came from, who you are, because you're a mother of two. So I want you to tell them whatever you want to hear, because I do want this to be about you. I appreciate you sharing your story, but I also want to hear your background.
I appreciate that you give me this opportunity and you have the time. For me, time is the best and the really the best gift what people could give each other. And so thank you for your time. My background, very funny story, but also maybe a bit sad, but I just tell it. I'm from Afghanistan, and I know when I say this, a lot of people are very sad about it, because we all know the political situation in Afghanistan, the Taliban, the war, that the women are without any rights, without any opportunities. They are oppressed because of the political situation. And the baddest thing about all that is that the education is so low, and we all know how important education is. So my mother was, when the Taliban came to Afghanistan, 13 years old, and my grandfather lost his arm during the war, and so she was forced to get married by 13 years to my father. So I have to say they love each other and they are still together, but the beginning was not easy for both, because my father was a big businessman and he don't want to marry, but his father also asked him to do that because it was like a favor, you know, they want to save the family. And my grandfather cannot go to school, and the Taliban also closed all the schools, and my grandfather cannot go to work, I mean, and so they have no money to generate, and they have a lot of girls, a lot of daughters, so they was forced as a family to get this oldest two daughters married. So yes, she was married by young age, and 1 year later she got my sister, and 2 years later I was on my way. And when my father know that we are daughters, so we are female and not male, it was so hard for him, because he loves women, he loves female, but the problem was that he know that when he had a daughter or daughters in Afghanistan, they would also be forced to get married very soon, have no education and no future. That was the worries of my parents, and I am so proud of them that they take the opportunity and leave Afghanistan for our future, without knowing what is in the west of the world, without knowing how and who, and really it was hard. And so I am born in Thailand. On the way to Germany, we were from moving from Afghanistan because of the war, and then 2 months later we were in Germany without without help, and really they just put everything together, and I'm so thankful for that, because it was so my future could be the same as my mother, but because they are in Germany and I grow up in Germany and get my education, I got it, and it is for me a privilege. And I know that not every woman, every female, every children, unfortunately, is possible to get this.
And I'm, oh my goodness, your story is unbelievable. Honestly, what your family went through, I think, is a testimony, because so many times in life we think we feel sorry for ourselves, or we think,
Yes.
gosh, we have a hard life, but then, in other countries it can be even harder.
Yes.
And I believe that the mentorship program that we're all involved with can really help, and we have to help, because if we don't, we're just ignoring things and we're not part of the solution. And it's a privilege for me to be able to be friends with you and to be on this journey.
I appreciate that. It is one thing when someone is poor and you give them money for food, because it is something who will pass after 24 hours. The people, the human will be hungry again after one day. But it is another thing if you will access education to people that is so much more high level, and you are going to helping so much more. And if I'm not supporting that, I would be really, it will be not good for me. I really love to support this project, and I will do my best to find those females who we can support.
That's what we need, because we've got to have people that are passionate and really sincerely want to help, or else we won't help. And I think, one of the things, I know that you and your husband are one of the top people in the root community. And as we move to the deeply rooted solutions of causes, we're finding solutions for causes. So that's what we're moving towards next year, really looking at helping people even more emotionally, mentally, physically, through education, through financials. But I think one of the things that is great about what you and other women are doing is you're also teaching women to do their own businesses, and something that they don't have to spend a ton of money to do, but they can do something even in a poor country. Because someone said to me one time, well, many times actually, the products are expensive. Mm-hmm. And my comment to that was, people that have been homeless have been able to make money and not even buy the product because of sharing things. My dream is to support people physically through these products. So, because if I can't make this claim, but if you wanted to live off the products, right, without having substantial food, you could, because of what are in the products. But I think more than that, you guys are also giving the opportunity to women to financially support their own lives, which is what I feel like we really need to get the message across. And for me, I'm committed to women that can't afford it, if we need to help them, that we do. And I know you're committed to that too.
Yes.
And I say this all the time. I have 3 sons, and of course Clayton. so is my husband, and brothers and uncles and father that I love and adore. So I want to help men and women. But one of the things is, and we give birth to children. So everybody on this earth either came from a woman
yes,
or is a woman. And I say that all the time. Everybody came from our bodies, right? So we have to support ourselves, and also at the same time empower men to be men. That's okay, right? Yeah. And I say that all the time. We've got to empower people to be who they are, and let them have their strengths. So I know your story is going to help a lot of people. And I don't know if you know that. You said earlier, I didn't know. Probably not. I don't focus on who I'm helping. I focus on trying to be better every day to help more people. And I think that's what's unique about the core group that's doing this mentorship program. I think each one of us will be focused on helping others and not just our own lives. So yes. I want to tell you thank you. And before we end this, I do want to ask, tell me the hardest thing that you've ever gone through in your life. I know you shared the experience with getting hurt, and that was I love that story. That's where I connected with you the first time. I did not know about your family, and that was very interesting to me. And I have just similarly, my great-grandmother was Cherokee and Choctaw. And in the United States, it was a similar environment. The Indians, basically, the females, if you could marry a wealthy man, then that would set you up, for the future, because the Indians and the Native Americans, I shouldn't say Indians, the Native Americans in the United States were basically sold into slavery or treated, incorrectly in our country. So I did hear those stories about my great-grandmother. Very similar story as your parents. And I think it's important for us to share that this stuff still happens, and that it doesn't always end in tragedy, because your parents love each other. Yes. But it is something that if we could wait till women are a little bit older now in this generation, it's easier, right? It's better not to take away from your parents, because my parents met when they were 13 and 14 as well. They didn't get married till later, but I do think that there's different paths to love, obviously. I think the biggest thing, though, I really want the audience to take away is if you, again, could share one more thing that was hard for you and how you overcame it, because you're at a young age, so you're going to experience more and more. But one of the messages I want people to understand is we all struggle. We all go through a lot, and we find some kind of hope to get us through that. So I'd love you to share that as well.
Yeah, I think the story what happened in Dubai was really the hardest, the baddest thing whatever happened to me. But as I said, because of all your products, it was a very easy way to heal again. And I'm not making any health claims. I mean, for every person and patient, it could be individual. But
how long did that take to work? Because I saw your body and it was extremely bad.
Yes.
Like I saw the pictures, and when you first told the stories without the pictures, it's hard to understand how bad it was. But it was very bad because you fell while the car was going.
Yeah. So how long does it take? I think not more than 1 month. And that is very, very fast. The healing process was without any other issues, without other problems. And I am so glad that we could help me, or Arman and you helped me with very natural products. It's all about natural and holistic things we have used. We have not touched the pharmaceutical medicine.
Yep.
And that makes me so proud, and so proud of being part of this genius community. And I want to really thank Mark von der Stück that he bring us to this community. He is one of the top ambassadors too. He asked my husband to come and join. And I must say, really, Dr. Rahm, I'm so sorry, but I think it's normal. I was very skeptical because of your products in the beginning. And also when my husband was a doctor, I really have to think a lot about it. Is it good? Is it not good? Do we think do we do the right thing, or is it the wrong thing? Is it a hype or whatever? And I really make a deep research until I really understand it mentally that it is good. And then that thing happened to me, and I just give it a hope and trust, and see on my own body how good it was, how helpful it was. And Clayton always says that your intention is love. And I must say, I really feel that. I feel your love, I feel your peace, and all the positive energy you are spreading all over the world. And it really, just a thank you is not enough.
Well, thank you, because we're doing it together. And I feel like the team that's here that we're going to be launching in January is going to do a lot of amazing things. You guys already are. So thank you for saying that. It means a lot, and it means more to me than anything. And it honestly encourages me to be even a better person. So you're a role model for a younger generation, and we need that right now. We really need people that understand that we all have to work in order for our world to be a better place.
Definitely.
So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rahm.
Thank you so much.
It was such a pleasure.
Thank you.